Well guys, I don't believe this. This camera let me down for the first time, this Osmo Action Pro. You see right here, I just came Route 60 West, been riding for a number of hours. I made one stop to change the battery. And I just did some of the best riding I felt like I'd ever done, handling these twisties on Route 60. And I pulled over here to change the battery, and I saw the battery was still at 98%. I'm like, how can that be? And it was B because it wasn't recording since my last stop. What I don't understand with this camera is when I was looking at it, the red light was steady, and I double checked and I had it to turn off automatically after 5 minutes and for the screen to turn off when recording after 5 minutes. And the screens were off, but I saw the red dot. So now I'm wondering if it just shows a red dot solid when the battery's in it and blinking when it's recording. But either way, I just I missed out on tons of great footage. Really, the main reason I came this way was to ride what I just ride and to share it with you. And there we go. So if you have this camera, I'm gonna have to remind myself to kind of go back and study the red light. The red light is so small that it is so hard to see when I'm riding, and I have to look in the mirror. So I may have no recourse but to just leave the screen on when I'm recording, just so I can glance quickly, even though it's going to burn the battery a little faster. So anyhow, that's a bummer. Be forewarned with this camera. It's hard to tell if it's on. All right? All right, guys, I'm back on the bike. Totally missed out on probably I don't know, hour and a half of riding, maybe an hour. And the main reason I brought 60 was because of all the twists and turns coming up and down the mountain. And the camera was off the whole time from what I can tell. I don't see any of the footage. The footage stops at my last stop. And it looks like at my last stop, I must have hit the button twice and it was recording. And then right before I pulled out, I must have hit it again. And what I don't understand is, yeah, I see this red status symbol right now on the camera. And that's what I saw when I was looking before. I'm gonna have to make sure that's a light I'm looking at. I just cannot believe I lost or didn't capture all of that footage. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm looking in the mirror at where I thought the red dot was, and when I was off the bike, the red dot is even tinier than I thought it was. And when I'm looking, I think I've been looking at the wrong thing. That's gonna sound really bad, but like, I'm not wearing my glasses, and they're reading glasses, but I think even upper close might be a little fading, and I'm starting now to wonder if that's the name of the camera and a logo at the end of it or something. So I turned the camera to always be on now on the screen if it's recording. It's the only way I can know for sure it's working. I never had to do that with the GoPro. As bad as the GoPro was, it had a pretty good status symbol on it. That Ace Pro, man, that thing had a big bright red bar across the bottom of the front screen. There was zero doubt it was recording. I really was proud of how I handled that ride and wanted to study it. When I went back and looked, I like looking at it, and just all of it gone. You know, I don't check it too often because I tend to just know it's on and trust it. And I kept looking to make sure the battery wasn't dead yet. And now I think what I've been looking at might have just been the logo on the damn front of the camera, and I just didn't think about that because I was looking quickly. So I guess the camera had been off that entire time, and then when I stopped and hit stop, I heard the on sound. I'm like, uh-oh. Yep. And again, the only reason I came this way was for that part of the ride I just missed on tape. So it took me about 100+ miles to get here, and I was having some fun counting down the mile markers with you and giving some history of the area. None of it recorded. I'd say that user error is contributed to that, but the very, very, very small status light on this darn camera also contributed. I mean, they got this bright little red thing that I guess is part of their name of the camera, is what I was quickly glancing at. And lesson learned the hard way. And of course, this has never happened to me at home when I'm doing 20-minute little trips that don't matter. I think I've been looking at that logo because I've never looked when the camera is supposed to be off. Camera's always supposed to be on. So I think I've been looking and seeing that red dot, and yep, everything's on. Hey guys, I'm at home recording this on my iPhone, and hopefully this will come through. So this is the DJI Osmo Action 4, and you see that number 4 there in red. I think what I was doing was, when I was quickly looking in the mirror, I was looking for basically anything red because I knew the status was red, and I haven't been wearing my glasses. I'm really, just recently started wearing glasses due to age-related reading issues. But I think this distance was just enough where I didn't notice this was a 4. I just saw red. Well, obviously, I'm only checking this when the camera's supposed to be recording. And of course, obviously, that is always going to be red because it's part of the design. And I'm going to click the quick turn on here and see if the phone will record, see if the phone will show this. All right, we're recording, and I don't know, sometimes the resolutions on these things will not show blinks the right way, but that is the red light that blinks when you're recording. And you can see it's not that large. And if you had it, on your mirror, to me, I can see this now, but when I'm on the bike and it's in the sun, I can only see that when it's just right with the darkness. And so at least I know where to look now. And I've decided to I'm going to turn this off. That's going to power off. I've decided just to leave the screen on when I'm recording because it's nice and large. I don't like the battery drain. But anyhow, that's a follow-up to explain what I was looking at.